It's a rebound video. I haven't reacted to rebound video in a minute. This is the entire history of the NBA. I guess. I don't know what he means by that, but we're to figure it out. So let's take a look. Let's
This
go
is
rebound.
what basketball looked like a century ago. And here's what it looks like now. So,
I would disagree. That was 2012,
how did we get
2013-ish.
here? Well, it all started when a teacher named James Naismith wanted to make a fun
It
game for
is.
his students. And boom, just like that, we got basketball. But at first,
Facts.
the game was complete garbage. I mean, they
BYB.
played with soccer balls and used wooden baskets as hoops. Yeah, it was literally basketball. And they couldn't even dribble. But the game quickly evolved.
That's why they
and by
gave 'em basketball.
1906, metal rims were introduced. They finally allowed dribbling, thank God. And the very first professional basketball league
But he
was
can't
formed,
dribble?
the NBL. But 12 years
National
later,
Basketball
another
League.
league was created called the BAA, creating teams like the Celtics, the Lakers, the Knicks, and the Warriors. And by 1949, basketball was getting so popular that the BAA and the NBL were like, let's do it. So they merged.
Wait,
creating
wait,
the NBA. But despite being the #1 basketball league in the world, most players in the NBA still had day jobs, like Norman Glick, who worked as a plumber. I'm not kidding. But in 1940,
I told y'all. People be saying Bill Russell, Will Chamberlain played against plumbers 9 to 5s.
56.
That's
One
what
of
I'm
the greatest
saying.
players of all time made his NBA debut. Celtics legend Bill Russell. I mean, he was
Rest in peace.
so good that he won a championship in his first season and 10 more throughout his career. Yeah, 11 championships. The Celtics dominated
13
the
in
league
total,
for
2 as a
13 years
coach.
straight. But in
Oh,
1959,
no. He had 11. I think he had 2 as a coach.
Bill's biggest rival
Baby.
joined the league. Wilt
Wilt Chamberlain,
Chamberlain,
yeah.
a man who could bench 500 pounds, sleep with 20,000 women, and score 100 points in a single game. A record
To this day, there's still some conspiracy theories saying that this 100-point game didn't happen.
he still holds to
I
this
don't know.
day.
I have to go with
by
it,
the way,
obviously.
none of those things were ever recorded on camera, so there's a bit of debate on whether any of it happened.
See what I mean?
The next 20 years were a dark era for the NBA. In fact, it was almost the death of it. In 1967, a rival league was formed called the ABA,
What is
creating
that?
teams like the Spurs, Nuggets, Nets, and Pacers. 2 different leagues with over 200 players, completely splitting the basketball fan base. Not only that, but 70% of NBA players were addicted to drugs, which was
Wow.
a big no-no. And by 1978,
Druggies.
the NBA was down so bad, even most of the finals weren't aired on TV. Nobody cared about the NBA. But right before officially going bankrupt,
What's that, Bird?
the league was saved by 2 unlikely stars.
Look at those two.
This is Larry Bird and Magic
She,
Johnson.
indeed.
And in 1978, they were the 2 greatest players in college basketball history that just so happened to be playing at the exact same time, leading to one of the greatest rivalries ever. They talked smack, got physical, all while dropping 20 points on each other. It became the
hold
hottest
on.
thing on TV. I'm talking 40 million viewers for a single college game. Between
40 million.
1978 and 1979, Bird and Magic officially declared for the league, with Bird going to the Boston Celtics
Course.
and Magic to the Lakers.
Yep.
Meanwhile, the NBA absorbed the 4 remaining ABA teams, making the NBA the only professional basketball league. And
Hey.
in 1979, they finally added the iconic three-point line.
Bang.
The NBA was suddenly bigger than ever. Hell, the league even started selling players' jerseys for the first time.
Really?
And it was all led by Bird and Magic. But despite all that, the NBA had no clue what was about to hit them, because there was a kid from North Carolina
Who's that? That's the GOAT. That's my GOAT.
about to
That's all I'm
change not
saying.
only basketball,
From
but
UNC
the
too,
world
nonetheless. Michael Jeffrey Jordan.
In 1982, a 19-year-old college player was averaging 13 points and 4 rebounds. Nothing special, but it was enough to help bring his team, the North Carolina Tar Heels,
The Tar
to
Heels.
the NCAA championship. And it was during
Come
that
on,
game
man.
that he made a name for himself. Because in the final seconds, with his team down 1, he did this.
18.
Money. Too easy. It's so easy.
Michael Jordan was ready to take over the basketball world. And in 1984, when Jordan was drafted by the Chicago Bulls, he instantly became a star, winning Rookie of the Year, and looking like he'd be the face of the game for years to come. But at the start of his sophomore season, Jordan shattered his foot. Meanwhile,
He
there
did.
was another player coming out of college, ready to take MJ's spot.
Uh-oh.
This is Len Bias.
Ooh.
And the kid was so good, scouts were saying he'd for sure be better than MJ. He was bigger, stronger, and a better rebounder. And in 1986, he was drafted by the Boston Celtics, a team that still had legends like Larry Bird, Bill Walton, and Danny Ainge. But just 2 days later, the NBA was hit with one of their worst tragedies.
Well,
Local success story took a tragic turn this morning. Len Bias, the Maryland University
Oh my
basketball
gosh, I
star
didn't even
on
know
his way
that.
to becoming a world champion Boston Celtic, died of an apparent heart attack today at Leland Memorial Hospital
Damn.
in Prince George's County.
He died of heart failure because he used cocaine.
The medical examiner said
don't do drugs, bro.
the cocaine in Bias's body was virtually pure, while most found in Maryland is 60% diluted. He said Bias inhaled the powder. Within seconds, it was absorbed into the blood and quickly interrupted the electrical activity in his brain, and that produced an irregular heartbeat.
Len Bias tragically passed away, and with that, brought an end to the Celtics dynasty. But there was another dynasty right around the corner.
Sure was. The Dream
Now, a
Team.
few months later, Michael Jordan returned from injury and literally became the most famous person in the world. He won 3 championships in a row with the Bulls.
Three,
He's the
baby.
most iconic shoes of all time,
Of all time.
the Jordan 1s. And he was so famous, you could recognize an outline of him. Everyone wanted to be like Mike, and it brought
I could be
worldwide
like
attention.
Mike.
By 1992, the NBA started playing games in countries like China, Germany, and Russia. And for the first time ever, you had legends like Bird, Magic, and Jordan all playing for the USA Olympic team, forming the Dream Team,
Yeah.
aka the greatest sports team ever assembled. At this point,
Might be.
basketball and the NBA was at its peak. It was so big, the league even added 2 teams to Canada, but it was all short-lived.
Last night, we began the show with the disappearance of Michael Jordan's father. Tonight, the worst fears have come true. James Jordan was found dead, victim of an apparent murder.
Jordan
Wow.
was devastated, and being unable to cope with the pain, he officially retired from the NBA in 1993.
Oh,
Just a
yes.
massive hole in the league, and the Houston Rockets tried to fill it, even winning back-to-back championships.
Because he said that he wanted to, like, fulfill, like, to go play baseball. So because of his dad. Okay, okay.
But it just wasn't MJ. So only 2 years after retiring, MJ shocked the world with 2 of the most iconic words in NBA history.
I'm back.
I'm back.
I'm back.
But
I'm
when Jordan
back.
returned, he would meet the Black Mamba for the first time. And that's only one of the 8 sections coming up after a word from our sponsor,
Ah! Rebound's not gonna give me. He's not gonna give me.
Father's Day, where MJ dedicated the win to his dad. It was truly beautiful. But as Jordan's career came to an end, a new era of players were ready to take over. Players like Kobe Bryant, Shaquille
Shaq.
O'Neal, and Allen Iverson.
AI.
All brought something the league had never seen before. AI redefined how you could dribble and move with the ball. Kobe brought his Mamba
AI was so
mentality,
swaggy with
while
it.
no one could contain Shaq's size. But the
Balls.
changes went beyond just the court. By the early 2000s, you saw more players with tattoos. They were wearing chains
Look how
and jewelry.
swaggy AI
They got in a
was.
complete
AI was
makeover.
swaggy. Oh, here's this guy. Who's this
By
guy?
the year 2003, Shaq and Kobe were dominating the league. They teamed up on the Lakers, and it won 3 championships in a row. It was a
That was
thing
a
of
three-peat.
beauty. That was until their relationship fell apart. Kobe thought Shaq was being a lazy fat ass, and Shaq thought Kobe was mean. So the two ended up hating each other. But all
Listen, I
eyes
thought
were
he
on
was
a much
mean.
bigger story. See, there was a player in high school that was more famous than any NBA player. A player that was part
One of
Magic
the
Johnson,
greatest
part MJ, and part
prospects
superhuman.
in NBA
Talking
history.
about LeBron James, the most
The greatest,
exciting
bro.
prospect basketball had ever seen. I mean, if the league accepted high schoolers, he would have been playing in the NBA
I think he
at
might be the-
16.
one of the greatest
He was that
prospects.
good. And in the 2003 draft, he was selected by his hometown team, the Cleveland Cavaliers, ready to claim his crown as the king of the NBA. But
Indeed.
while everyone had their eyes on LeBron, something sinister was going on in the background. A referee by the name of Tim Donaghy was rigging games for the Mafia, telling them which teams to put
Buddy was working with the mafia. Crazy.
money on. And it wasn't just a single game or even one series. He was rigging games for 4 years straight.
4 years. Yo, I know the mafia made money.
Tim was literally changing the history of the NBA with each game he reffed. But eventually, the FBI got involved. But 2-year investigation was conducted, and Tim went to jail for 11 months. But
Only 11 months? Ah.
the 2000s weren't all bad. In 07, the league saw the beginning of the super team era. The
Yep.
Boston Celtics, made up of 3 NBA legends, Ray Allen, Kevin Garnett, and Paul Pierce. And I know there were other super teams over the years. The 82 Sixers, the 96 Bulls, hell, even the 2003 Lakers. But for the first time in NBA
I don't know about that
history,
last
teams
one.
were intentionally trading for 3 superstars to try and win it all. And in 2010, the Miami Heat pulled off the greatest super team the NBA had ever seen.
That's crazy because this could have actually been Carmelo. Carmelo said he was actually, like, he was playing inside of Miami because of
Chris
this.
Bosh, Dwayne Wade, and LeBron.
Boshsaurus.
They were so good. They made it all the way to the finals in their
Every
first year.
year.
By 2011, the league had hit one of its lowest points.
This is a
going into
lockout.
Complete lockout.
Yeah.
Basically, team owners wanted to pay their players less. Players said hell no, and the NBA shut down. So, with nothing to do all day, stars like LeBron and KD went and dominated in local gyms. Some players like J.R. Smith went overseas to play, while others were forced to literally find a normal
Yeah, nigga getting hammers at the Home
job.
Depot.
No one knew if this was the end of the NBA. But finally, after 161 days, everyone came to a new agreement, and this marked the beginning of the absolutely ridiculous NBA contracts we see today.
Boy,
I mean, dudes like Timothy Mozgov, who
Timothy Mozgov stole a bag from the Lakers.
averaged 6 points a game, signed a $65 million
He stole
contract,
from the Lakers.
while stars like Kevin Durant were signing contracts for over $160 million. To put that into perspective, the most Bill Russell got paid at the height of his career was $100,000 per year.
That's crazy, but that's the 60s, ain't it? 100,000 is like,
That
feel like $1 million.
$975,000 in today's money. With the NBA finally back, LeBron lived it up in Miami, going to 4 straight finals, winning 2 of them. Basketball was witnessing a new GOAT emerge, and the NBA was in the midst of its LeBron era. By 2014, LeBron returned to Cleveland, ready
He
to win his
did.
hometown a ring, thinking it was going to be an endless flow of championships.
Uh-oh.
But
But
there was a team in the Bay Area with a player named Steph Curry.
Mr.
who was
Steph
about to
Curry.
change the NBA forever.
Buddy changed shooting.
Steph Curry could shoot the ball from anywhere, and I mean anywhere. The league had never seen anything like it. 3-point shots used to just be, a normal part of the game, but now we saw Steph Curry making it the #1 option, from hitting more threes than any player in NBA history to taking home the MVP award that year and winning the 2015 NBA Finals.
If Kyrie and Kevin Love did not get hurt,
He broke boundaries and changed the
That's
way the
all I'm
league
saying.
viewed shooting. So other
might have
teams
been
started
different.
shooting threes like crazy, trying to find their own Steph Curry. But there was a problem. The dude was one of a kind. So
Legit.
from 2015 to 2018, it was the king of the league versus the greatest shooter of all time. And it made for some of the most memorable playoff series
2016,
ever, playing in
man.
2016 when LeBron and the Cavs were
3-1,
down 3-1 to the
3-1,
Warriors in the
3-1.
finals. But somehow they came back and won it all, making it LeBron's greatest accomplishment. Meanwhile, international players started invading the league, like Joel Embiid, Giannis Antetokounmpo, and Nikola Jokic,
Jokic.
who account for the last 5 MVPs from 2019 to 2023.
that's crazy to think about. Wow, yeah.
Suddenly, the league's best players weren't even American. It was like nothing the league had ever seen.
International, man.
But when nobody saw coming was a worldwide pandemic.
Goodness
A
gracious.
dangerous virus is spreading rapidly in China, and U.S. officials are very worried that it could come here.
Now,
Oh, this sucks, bro, because I remember all this happening, bro. Oh, man.
The growing concerns about the deadly
Coronavirus.
officially hitting the U.S.
It was in New York.
Ain't no fans in there. I ain't playing.
The NBA is suspending the season.
see, the NBA was forced to completely shut down for 4 months. Luckily though, the league was trying to cook up a plan to bring basketball back, and what they came up with seemed insane at first, because the NBA invited teams to Disney World, where they would come and play out the rest of the season while being stuck inside a bubble for 3 months. They couldn't leave, they couldn't bring anyone in, they couldn't even order food from outside restaurants. It was rough, but LeBron got his 4th ring out of it, and nobody got sick.
Mickey Mouse ring, Mickey Mouse ring.
By 2021, COVID was still around, but the fans were back, And we got to see one of the weirdest seasons ever. The Nets lost in the playoffs because KD's foot was too big.
Yep.
LeBron got eliminated in the first round for the first time in his career. And the Bucks won their first championship since 1971. In the 2022-23 season, we got to see a legendary Celtics vs. Warriors finals, where Steph took home his 4th ring. But I think it's more important to talk about where we are today.
75
I feel
greatest
like
players.
there's a problem that no one seems to be mentioning. The NBA's most popular players are getting really old, and
They
I think we're
are.
about to witness the end of an era. I mean, the typical retirement age for an NBA player is 35. Meanwhile, Jimmy Butler, James Harden, D. Rose, and Westbrook are all 34. Steph and KD are 35, CP3 is 38,
Damn.
and king of the NBA, LeBron James, is 38 years old too, which makes him the oldest player in the entire NBA. I mean, are you guys
Crazy.
seeing what I'm seeing? These dudes are about to retire, and the league is about to look a whole lot different very soon. Because with 30 teams at the moment, the league has plans to expand to 32 teams. And with how much the league's changed already, who knows what we could see in 20 more years? Like, there's already talks about a 4-point line, airless
I hope they don't do that 4-point line, bro.
basketballs, and Toyota's developing a robot that might even play in the league. This really is the end of an era and the beginning of something new.
Yo, shout out to Rebound. This is a great video, man, to look back at the history, bro. As you can see, a lot of history we had in the NBA, bro. And this just shows you to enjoy every moment in the NBA. You don't know, just enjoy it in the moment. That's all I can say. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Leave a like, subscribe. We do this every day in October. And I'll see you guys tomorrow for another video. I'm out.